in 2 days.
Okay, I think we're live now. Hi
Hi.
everyone. Uh, Today we are going speedrun initial D extreme stage. My name is
For the PS3.
for
Sorry.
PS3, of course. My nickname is BIGV and I have a sole commentator, Dr. Hell or
Hey.
how I need to say
Hey.
it.
Yep, that's me.
Okay, as usual, we create a new profile for game. Now I'll be using English buttons or call it symbols.
Basically, the way this game works with creating profiles is that you have to go through the PS3 menus, the keyboard menus, which is pretty weird actually when playing because since it's a Japanese game, the control scheme for confirming and cancelling stuff is the opposite of European and American keyboard. So whenever you are inputting names, text and stuff using the PS3 keyboard, pretty much all the buttons feels messed up. Like it's really weird.
Yeah, it's pretty strange when you first time do this. Today
Yeah.
I'm gonna use Honda S2000 for this run. Will be first time I will use this car.
It's a pretty good car in general. S2000 is a very good car. It's very easy to handle. It has very good grip, but it lacks axle unless it's maxed pretty much. Actually used to use this car online.
Oh, I got messed up again.
It's also the best car for Tsukuba downhill actually.
Oh, because it's course car for Scuba. That's why.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
That's why you. Okay.
We created our profile.
Okay, so anyway. Baguette! Je suis Baguette! For the chat.
For start, I can't do a rat because it's only in numbers. For the start, I show my difficulty and today it will be on easy because I'm not feeling so great today. But that's not a problem, I think. Okay, we can start at 3, 2, 1, go.
Hype. The timer didn't start actually. I think. Oh, never mind, it did. Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I have delay. That's because I'm watching on Twitch. I forgot about that.
Okay, we'll skip every cutscene as usual for speedrunning. First.
No, this is not the French flag. It's not white. I'm sorry. Sorry. What did you want to say?
This is first course of game. It's Akina Lake. It appears first time, I think, in console games. I think yes.
Yeah, it's the first time we see Akina Lake, even in the arcade port. By the way, so this is Extreme Stage. This is a PS3 port of the arcade stage 4 game. Basically, what this game has compared to the arcade version, it has an extra course, which is Rapogara, which is not on the arcade port. Also, with the physics, it uses a mix between the two versions of Stage 4, which is really weird. Also, this game has online leaderboards and versus modes. It's pretty good. This game also had DLCs. It had a free DLC, which is not on the store anymore. It disappeared for no reason all of a sudden. We still don't know why.
Does it?
Yeah, it did disappear actually.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea why. I still have it on PS3, but I don't know how to share it. Anyway, that DLC adds 3 cars, which are on the second version of the arcade stage 4 machine. And it also had some manga scans. For I think it's like $3 a scan, pretty much.
Yeah, close to that.
Yeah, it's not too expensive, but there's not much at the same time. Anyway, so story-wise, this is Legend of the Street mode. It's not really a story mode. It's kinda what the other arcade stage, like 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 0 has. It's basically your own story as a new driver. It's not really based on the anime story or the manga story. So yeah, anyway, this is the first course I can rate. This is against Itsuki. There's not much to say, there's not much to do either. It's honestly a very easy course.
Yeah.
It's really the basics. But to be honest, you're doing pretty good.
It's because it's just Sisuke.
Well, your driving line is pretty good, to be honest.
Maybe it's because, I don't know, practice. But I didn't practice for a long time in this game.
Maybe, but to be honest, it's pretty good.
I still can beat Solid Snake times on dry courses.
Solid Snake's time are very good, to be honest. And to be honest, it's also one thing about this game. It's well, let's be honest. It's seen as the worst initial D arcade stage machine actually. Mostly because the physics are it's very weird. On the first version, the brakes basically on the first version of the game of the arcade sport of the arcade machine, sorry. On the first version, you don't really need to brake, the game brakes for you. And at the same time, the cars in this game feels very slippery. Like it's pretty much like you are driving on ice, pretty much. As for the second version, it's totally different with brakes. Brakes are really important because if you don't brake enough, if you go too fast during some turns or brake too much or just mess up during a turn, you get what's called a penalty. And basically penalty in this game can do a lot of things like losing control of your car, so you will be literally sent into the guardrail for no reason. It will also make you lose speed and basically you will have a lower axle or just not axle at all for some time. Depending on the track and on the turn, if you mess up, it's really bad. It's so yeah, it's pretty weird. And the car being slippery at all times doesn't really help, to be honest, with the penalty. I think it's also what makes beating good times online really hard. Because it's not just getting good. It's also like you have to be good and you have to kind of manage the slippery physics. It's really weird. At the same time, Apogara in this game, which is only on the console ports, so only in Extreme Stage on PS3. Apogara is pretty weird because it's slippery as well. So basically, it's 2 times more slippery than usual, which is really weird. In fact, it's so slippery that the course is usually easier on the wet litter actually, at least in my opinion. So yeah, Apogara is just a 10 Viking teeth, in my opinion.
About sexy guardrail action, we will get it on Isui, I think, because I will definitely kick penalty there.
Oh yeah, Yusui is really special. I will explain more about Yusui and the other tracks when you will be driving through them. Because basically, it's kind of the same with every arcade stage. Basically, each track has their own speed limits, like max speed for each gear, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And at the same time, each track has their own rule, kinda. For example, some tracks will allow you to go fast. Some tracks will not allow that. Some tracks will allow you to hit the guardrail more often, and so on. So hey, fireworks outside. Nice.
Okay, now we got some otaku from Tokyo, which is...
Oh yes, two guys
easy.
from Tokyo. Sorry.
no problem.
Yeah, two guys from Tokyo. So this is also I think it's the first race on night time. I think.
Yeah.
Super ultra light braking. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
these
exactly
guys.
this. Also, while I'm reading chat, so hello everyone, by the way. Also, Baguette représente en force, of course. You know, thinking about it, it's pretty funny that I'm doing commentary for this, considering I think I was one of the first persons to stream Extreme Stage, I think. At least when the leaderboard was created. So that's pretty funny, that's a nice coincidence actually. Anyway, on Akina Lake in this game, it's very easy to go at such a high speed. In fact, with some cars you can reach 210 km per hour or
Yeah,
miles per hour.
It's pretty... not so easy, but you can do it when you got full spec car.
Yeah, you need to... Basically, you need to have a full spec car. You need a car with very high max speed. For example, like the RX-8, which is what I used for Akina Lake. So you need a good line, which is basically not turning too hard, pretty much.
But for Akina Lake, best one is R34, a Skyline in one direction, and Eva 9 in another direction, as I remember it right.
Yep, that's the best cars. That's the best cars for Akina Lake. Also, by the way, speaking about lines, so this game, I have said it has slippery physics. So that means going in a straight line is pretty hard. And now the funny part about physics. Having a straight line in this game is super important for good times. Basically, depending on your line, right? Depending on your line and which course it is, it's gonna be hard to get the turns right, which means you will be getting a penalty. And that means you will be going slower and stuff during the next parts of set course. So yeah.
Okay, we're done with Akina Lake. As I remember, yeah, we done it.
Yep. So Akina Lake is done. Now we are gonna be doing Usui. I think that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah, I think yes, but I don't
Alright, so
sure.
yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure either. I'm not Japanese. And to be honest, I haven't watched the anime in a long time, so I don't remember how they say stuff.
First one.
So yeah, anyway.
First one is Kenji, and he is really slow for this course.
Yeah, Kenji is he's pretty easy. To be honest, most race early game are pretty easy, especially if you have a fully upgraded car. Like basically, if you have a fully upgraded car, you should be fine until Tsukuba. Like in Tsukuba, you will need to actually play seriously. With a new car, which is basically what we are doing for this run, a new car with no upgrades. For this, it's a bit different. Normally, if you are good enough, you should only have trouble with Keisuke. Yeah, Keisuke on what it's called again? It's Akagi uphill. Depending on your car, you will have trouble on Keisuke uphill or Hiro Asaka downhill against SW20. But yeah, anyway, if you are really good, you should be fine.
I think I never get troubles in extreme stage with Keisuke. Only in special stage.
In special stage, he's really fucking hard. It's definitely one of the hardest, to be honest.
Yeah.
In extreme stage, he was nerfed really badly. Depending on your car, like if you have a really bad uphill car, you will have trouble, but otherwise it should be fine. It's the same for Hiro Asaka, to be honest. If you are good enough and if you have a downhill car, normally Hiro Asaka is free. Anyway, I wanted to say something, but I kinda forgot. Oh yes, so earlier I said I will be explaining each track, specificities and stuff. So for Usui, the way it works, as you can see there's turns, just like on every course actually. But anyway, for these turns, basically imagine an invisible wall on the inside of each turn, and basically if you want to go inside that invisible wall on the inside, you have to slow down. Actually. So it's really weird. If you don't slow down, you will be pushed away from the inside of the turns. And if you get the penalty, that means you will hit the guardrail for sure. So this track is really weird if you are trying to go fast, because you want to be as close to the inside as possible, but at the same time you want to stay away from the invisible wall. So it's really weird.
Yeah. I think it's most I don't know how to say it. You get it most on Isui.
Yeah, you get that. To be honest, only Usui and I think it's Hapogara that has that. These invisible walls actually.
Hakubuhara too.
For example, Akagi does not have that. Hirosaka has something else, and Tsukuba mostly has. Tsukuba has the whole penalty. I will explain more about that later when we get through Tsukuba, because it's really hard to explain without you guys being able to see it.
And we got some meme boy, Shingo.
Oh yeah, double crash.
But he will be far away from us till the finish line.
Oh yeah, it's time to get Shingo points. Oh yeah. Exactly. Oh yeah, that reminds me of speaking about the games actually. So I've said this is a console port, and there's actually some stuff you guys might want to know if you ever want to get this game.
You should really think about it.
Um, if you want to get this game and play online, you have to keep in mind that there are two versions. There's Asian version and Japanese version. The Japanese version has online menus like leaderboards, race against each other, each player and stuff. And Asian version does not have that. Asian version, whoa, I cannot speak English. Fuck me. Asian's version does not have online. It doesn't have the leaderboards. It does not have racing against other player, but it has an English manual, which is pretty cool. You can find it on internet anyway, but it's good to know. Either way, I think both versions can get the DLC, but well, the DLC actually isn't on the PS Store anymore, so rest in peace DLC. But anyway, if you guys want to get this game, you should really get the Japanese version because it has online features. And well, this game is cool, but I don't think you will really like it if you cannot play against another player. Because well, it's mostly just time like in Legend of the Street, and Legend of the Street isn't really a story, to be honest. At least in my opinion. So yeah, anyway, you're doing pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah, but we still got... Oh, I even got in minus time. This is nice.
Dang. PB hype, maybe?
Maybe.
Dang.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of speaking about console ports, arcade versions and stuff. So, like I've said before, this is based on the Stage 4 version, which was basically a reboot. They've used different machines compared to the versions before. They also switched to 2D cutscenes to 3D models and stuff, which is why this version does not have much stuff. It's basically a reboot. It doesn't have many cores, it does not have many animations for cutscenes and stuff. You are not the only one watching, I hope. And well, to be honest, I have to watch anyway because I'm commentating, so yeah.
I don't know how, but Twitch saying that this stream is watching 130 some people. This is really
yeah.
cool.
Oh, this is insane. Dude, we are officially famous, Kappa.
Yeah. Okay, now
So
we got
anyway,
Maiko Isaiku, which is, I think it's his first opponent, which is close to be a hard one.
yeah, basically, this is the first opponent. This is the first opponent that you actually need to at least understand how to drive properly to beat, because it's still a bit close. Like as you can see, the AI isn't that far away from Urka actually. So if you do too many mistakes, it's over. And Nakazato is kinda the same.
Nakazato is not so hard. He just got his boost on start and that's all.
Personally, I think it depends. Because like he gets, for me personally, when I play, he gets a boost at the start, and if you are going too slow, he gets another boost near the end of the course. And usually, if you get it, it's over. It's kinda weird. But to be honest, I would not be surprised if CI was a bit scripted, kinda like in Special Stage on PS2. So for those who don't know in chat, on PS2, some courses are scripted. Basically, if you are doing fine, if you are doing fine, if you are ahead on some course against the AI, the AI will be basically free. Like as long as you stay ahead, you will be fine. But on some course, if you are behind on some parts, the AI will get a huge boost in speed or anything else, and it's basically GG. It's basically game over. It's pretty weird. To be honest, I would not be surprised if Arcade Stage or at least Extreme Stage had that for some opponents. In fact, there's an opponent later on Apogara that has a scripted part near the end of the course where he used the brakes a lot, and it's basically the only way to win unless you are really, really good at Apogara. I'm sure you know which driver I'm talking about.
Okay, now we got Takeshi Nakazato.
Oh yeah, so guardrail guy.
Yeah.
So chat, can we get shoutouts guardrail please? Can you guys spam guardrail please for my boy Big V and for Urgai Nakazato?
And as usual, he got ahead from us. It's just Nakazato thing. And almost bye bye Nakazato.
Dang, his face, dude. He can't wait for the guardrail. Look at that face. It's epic.
The G in GTR stays for guardrail. Lol.
Is it faster to drive in first person? Not really. It's not faster. It's just easier, to be honest. And well, actually, I guess it depends on who's driving. Some people prefer first person, and some people prefer third person. If you want to know about speed difference, if anything, the main difference is wheel and controller. Using a wheel is usually better if you are going for really, really good times because it's more precise. But using a wheel and using a controller are two very different things.
Oh, I'm just showing off that third person is very bad in extreme stage. You should never use it because it's really strange.
It really is. It really is. You can definitely feel that the game was intended to be played on first person and not third person. But yeah, anyway, about wheel and controller, you can still get decent time with a controller, but if you want to go for world record times, you definitely want to use a wheel.
Yeah.
But to be honest, with this physics, I kinda wanna say that it's not gonna change much because it's so slippery anyway that
No,
Like,
it definitely
it's-
changed because, for example, I really I think I'm good at play this game with wheel, but when I take a gamepad, it's just really so awful. I really can't even maybe beat Takumi in with gamepad.
Dang. Personally, I used to play with controller at first, and I remember when I switched to when I switched to using a wheel actually, and it was really weird. That's really weird because with a controller, well, with a controller it kind of felt easier in third person, but in first person it was really weird. And I feel that when you are using a wheel, it's the opposite. When you are using the wheel, first person feels easier than third person. But it's probably just me anyway. I'm not that good at racing games anyway. So by the way, we are racing, I think, no, I don't think it's Kenta. I can't remember that guy.
It's Kenta.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay. So anyway, we are racing Kenta on Akagi on wet Twitter. So wet Twitter in this game makes the road more slippery, and you have to use brakes a little more often compared to dry Twitter. But to be honest, it's kind of the same with the other initial D games. But in this game it doesn't really help because the physics are already very slippery.
Yeah.
So on wet Twitter it's basically a shit show. You are sliding all over the place, and funnily enough, on Avogara, because the course is slippery on dry Twitter, it's actually easier on wet Twitter for some reason to take turns. So anyway, there's nothing much to say about this track. Unlike usually, there are no invisible walls. It's all about not hitting the walls, not getting penalty, and going fast.
This one turn was really bad, so Kenta will catch up.
That turn is pretty weird to get. Personally, I just turned way earlier. I don't really care if I hit the guardrail during it because it's still a bit faster in my opinion. And usually, if you get inside line during that turn, you can just keep going in a straight line into the next turn, so you get some speed back. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Kenta in rain. What a coincidence. It's just like in the anime. What a coincidence. Yeah, using a wheel in third person is pretty difficult. I agree. I agree. Because unlike when you are using a controller, it's pretty weird. It's a pretty weird feel. But yeah, anyway, if anyone in chat actually wants to get arcade games on Technoparrot or anything, I seriously recommend using a wheel because these games were made for a wheel actually. So if you are using a controller, I'm pretty sure you are gonna be at a disadvantage, and you are gonna be missing a lot of fun, I guess, or a lot of the fun part. I'm not really sure how to say it in English, but well, fighting against the wheel is actually really fun. And if you are playing on a controller, you won't be doing that. So yeah, I definitely recommend using a wheel for the arcade games on Technoparrot, and if you can on PS3 or PS2 as well, if you're playing the initial D games.
I'm not PS2 initial D1.
Actually, finding a wheel for PS2 is pretty hard nowadays. And back then, they actually released in Japan a pack with a wheel and the initial D game on PS2. And to be honest, the box looks really cool. I honestly recommend everyone to Google it later. Because if you can find it, the box is seriously badass. Seriously. It's so cool.
I think that pack works because they have less than 30 and 360 degree wheel, but when I'm plugging in my 900 degree wheel, it's just so bad in special stage.
Is it?
Yeah, I got a huge dead zone, and I don't know why, but I can select gears only with D-pad up and down, which
I
is
see.
really bad.
That reminds me of when I tried my Driving Force GT on PS2. It was weird. It was really weird because I also had dead zones and like basically I barely had to move to turn the wheel to. I barely had to turn the wheel to actually turn in game, and because of that, my car kept swinging left and right. It was seriously really weird, and there was no sensitivity for the pedals as well. It was really weird. But I'm pretty sure my wheel is broken anyway because when I plug the wheel on PS3, I don't get the force feedback anymore. Probably
Really?
because I kept yeah, and even on Technopilot, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I have to change the settings every time I turn on the game. I'm pretty sure that's because back then, when I was playing Extreme Stage, when the leaderboard was made, I used to hold the wheel even if it was pushing and trying to turn to the left or the right, and I kept holding it and stuff, you know. And I'm pretty sure I broke whatever is in it to that simulates the force feedback. I'm pretty sure that's it because everything else works just fine. But to be honest, not having force feedback is pretty fun as well.
Yeah, I'm playing always without force feedback, and I'm saved Ghost. Okay, not a big loss time.
Ghost data hype. So ghost data is well, it's what it is. Ghost data, by the way. You can basically race against it in time attack. You can also watch replays in this game. Like replays against the AI in Legend of the Street or just replays for time attack. You can also download some replays from the top 100 best times for each course. If you have the Japanese version.
Only first 10. Only first 10.
Only. Okay, my bad. Only the first 10. Only the top 10 times. But to be honest, it's pretty cool that they did that. Even if most of the times are... I'm still not sure if every time on the leaderboard is cheat or not. Because believe it or not, guys, but there are cheater times on the leaderboards. The most known one is one user using a cappuccino. And I actually have one of the replays from the cappuccino on my PS3. And when I load it, at some point the car keeps doing 360s, it doesn't finish the course, yet it's supposed to be the best time in the world. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I think I see that replay.
Yeah, I had it on stream before, long ago, because it's always funny, and it's also a proof that you cannot really trust the leaderboards online in the game. Which is one of the reasons why I submitted the game on speedrun.com back then, to have a legit leaderboard and to gather people. But yeah, anyway, if you check a lot of times from the leaderboards online from this game, One thing you can notice as well is every car has very straight line. They are like 1 pixel next to guardrails and stuff, so it's really weird. Like honestly, I cannot believe that anyone will be this good to will be good enough to do this during the entire tracks, during the entire course. It's seriously insane. Also, it's always the same cars, 2 online, so it's pretty weird, considering they are actually top cars, best cars for each course in this game. For example, the 86 is the best car on Akina Downhill. It gets a speed boost and acceleration boost. The SW20 is supposed to be the best car on Iwasaka Downhill. It gets a maximum speed boost in gear 3 and 4, which makes a lot of difference, to be honest. Yet, the best car for Iwasaka is actually the Cappuccino because the car is small and because of how Iwasaka works. I will explain more about it when BIGV reach Iwasaka. Because it's a pretty weird track, actually.
But I really like it.
Same.
Because of physics.
Honestly, it's one of my same. It's honestly was one of my favorites. That reminds me of on stage 8 Infinity. Iwasaka feels really weird because of the physics. It's really totally different compared to the other tracks in a bad way, in my opinion. Which is kinda the opposite of Extreme Stage. It's different but in a good way, in my opinion.
Okay, we got last one on Nakagi. It's Ryosuke, if I'm saying it right.
Yep, Ryosuke. So Ryosuke Downhill, this race isn't as hard as this race isn't as hard as on Special Stage. It was also nerfed, just like Keisuke. But to be honest, if you like acceleration, he can still win in the very last part, the very last turns. That song is so good. To be honest, even if the physics sucks in this game, it still has one of the best playlists, in my opinion, of all the arcade stage games.
I think no one can beat Special Stage 1.
Special Stage is honestly really good. It's definitely the best console port as well.
And it's because it has 30 or 31 songs in it.
Yeah, it has. I think it has most songs of all the initial D games. Also, it's most of the songs that were in the anime. So that's another cool thing about it. If you really like the anime, it's definitely the game for you.
Okay, finally got ahead from Ryosuke.
Oh yeah, he's pretty far behind. It's pretty cool actually. But to be honest, if you mess up, he can still catch up.
Yeah.
Especially if you mess up in the very last set of turns, because that's where the AI gets a speed boost, and Hirosuke gets a huge boost. It's not as big as in special stage, but it's still very dangerous. Like as you can see, he closed the gap a bit, but still that's not enough to win. GG.
Okay, we done with Akagi. And now we got Akina.
So Akina in this game is very weird. Well, not weird, really, it's how can I say that? It's very special if you are going for a good time, because basically there's one turn in the beginning, and depending on how much speed you keep from that turn in the beginning, that's where most of the time will be saved, pretty much, unless you do mistakes in the next part of the course. But normally that turn early in the course is where most of the time saves is. It's I think it's the third turn. But yeah, anyway, having a good time on Akina is pretty difficult in this game. There's a lot of things to know and to do correctly. Like for example, you have to get this first turn right, then you have to get some acceleration to go back in fourth gear. Then you have to switch to fifth or sixth gear, and then you have to prepare for the second big turn, and then that's it. Depending on how much speed you have, depending on how much speed you keep from this turn, you will get a good time or not, unless you mess up the next part of the course. But normally it's not as difficult as this turn. If you are going for a really good time, it's definitely one of the hardest turns in the game. Also dang, Iketani is getting wrecked.
Yeah, pretty much.
Poor Iketani, dude. So yeah, anyway, if anyone in chat has questions about this game or the series, let us know. Maybe we could give some answers and stuff.
This is pretty
Oh, yeah,
bad. Hairpins.
Oh yeah, hairpins times. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm using wheel right now. Logitech Dragon Force GT.
Yeah, I can actually hear the wheel a little when you are doing the turns. But to be honest, it's not too bad. It's not super loud or anything. It's fine. It's pretty cool as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I really like it, especially for its cost.
Yeah, like I said, oh sorry.
On used market at least.
But yeah, like I've said, it's not really super loud or anything. I can probably hear it because I have the stream muted. Otherwise, I will be hearing her voice. And well, at the same time, we are talking and stuff. It will be super weird. That's probably why I can hear it that much, to be honest.
It's because it's just too loud. G25 and G27 is much quieter than this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They have a different mechanism for wheel itself.
I see. It's honestly the only wheel actually ever had. So driving for GT. So I don't know too much. I mean, I've tried a PS2 wheel before, but well, it was very simple. It did not even have pedals. It was very bad in my opinion. Save the frames.
That's sad. I got 0 drop frames in my OBS now.
Yeah, apparently it's on Konazumi's side, apparently.
I think. About wheels, I have in child one. When I was child, I have Logitech Windman Force GT, I think, if it's right, the red one. It's pretty much the same wheel which goes in a pack with Initial D, if I remember it right. But in Initial D pack it has
I think
blue
it's,
color.
It's blue. I think it's blue in the pack. Yeah. It's well, it goes well with the box and the game cover, I guess. Because the box is also blue.
Yeah. Okay. Not so bad this turn.
Oh, by the way, this is the best music, in my opinion. One of the best Eurobeat tracks in Initial D.
Only bad thing that I don't know why, but they added some strange sound effect to all music. It just like plays through some bad car stereo, or I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think I get what you mean. I can kinda agree, to be honest. I'm not sure why they did it. I think some songs are also playing on faster speed. Like not that fast, but still different compared to the CD version of the song. I think they did it because well, it's a racing game to make you go fast and stuff, you know.
Maybe.
Is it written when there's a penalty, like for that? No, it's not written. In fact, the game does not tell you about penalty. It's something you understand while playing the game or checking forums. it's really evil, to be honest. You just have to lower your speed during turns and hope you don't trigger a penalty pretty much when you are learning the game. When you get good enough, you kinda know how fast you can go during some turns, but the game doesn't really tell you. It just happens. Which is one of the things I hate about this game. Penalty doesn't really make sense sometimes, and it really slows you down at the same time. So when you are going for very fast times, it's really problematic, and it's really annoying as well. One of the best example I can think of is penalty on Usui because of the invisible walls. Because you want to go fast, but you have to slow down so much to get to be able to drive on the inside part of the turns, and it's really annoying. I have never seen that video. I think it's BIGV10. I'm not sure how to pronounce your username. Sorry if I did not pronounce it correctly. I haven't seen that. I've not seen that video, as far as I know, and well, I don't really know what cabin actually looks like for Arcade Stage 4. I've mostly seen the special ones where you are driving pretty much inside a car that's moving whenever you turn in the game. It's pretty cool. But even 10, I've only seen it from the outside. I haven't seen the inside of the cars with the wheel and stuff. And yeah, thanks, French accent. I'm surprised it's that easy to notice, to be honest. Literally everyone, everyone says something about it every time I'm in a marathon or something. It's pretty cool. So anyway, let's see. Anyway, speaking about the game, the run and stuff. This game has quite a few run killers actually, especially when you aren't too good at the game. Normally, the first serious run killer is Takumi on Hakina, which is gonna be happening soon. Because Takumi on Hakina is pretty unforgiving. Especially if you aren't too far ahead before the 4 hairpins. Because Takumi gets a very big boost during the hairpins. And Takumi, just like Bunta, also gets a speed boost during the last section, during the end of Akina downhill. Which means that if you aren't ahead and if you mess up too much, you will lose the race for sure. You cannot save it at this point.
Yeah, this is bad thing for Takumi and Bunta.
Yeah, it's very unforgiving. Then after that, if you are using the 86, the next run killer is Godfoot, because Godfoot gets a huge boost during the end, while the last two sections of Tsukuba downhill. Then Godhand is fine with the 86, but if you are using the RX7, he gets a huge boost during the beginning, so it can be difficult. And after that, well, Hapogara is just a train wreck. It's a shit show, and yeah, it's just very difficult. And then you have the Pro Driver race, which will be happening later, which is definitely the hardest race in the game because it's on Afogara and because the AI is really, really unforgiving. You only have one turn to win at the end, and that's about it.
Yeah, and before that opponent, I will tune my car.
Yeah, it's actually one of the reasons why we use RTA and not in game time. It's because we have to go through the garage actually to increase our car specs. Because to be honest, I believe some people have finished Extreme Stage, Legend of what's it called? Legend of the Street mode without upgrading the car. But unless you are world record tier skill-wise, I don't think that's easy to do. So yeah, because we are using RTA, that also means that you don't want to upgrade after every race because the loading times for these games are very, very long. But yeah, going into the garage is necessary for the end of the run, especially on a new file. On New Game Plus you don't really need to, but on a new file it's really important. And to be honest, you also get more speed by increasing your car specs. So that means you also get better times and finish course faster. Anyway,
Course is so slippery. Keep
yeah, that's wet Twitter for you, and physics. And to be honest, the S2000 is one of the best cars for this physics. Like it has a lot of grip actually, especially in Tsukuba. And basically, Tsukuba has three best cars, but the S2000 is the best one out of the three because of the grip only. Only because of the grip, it's pretty funny. But yeah, the S2000 has a very good grip, but at the same time it lacks acceleration. So you have to take the turns really well to get acceleration boost. Also, it's 6 speeds, or well, 6 gears, which is honestly pretty good. 6 gears in general on initial games is pretty good.
But
Like if you check, sorry, yes.
But in extreme stage, when you get 6 gears, you just got extra gear between first and second. That's all for, at least for me.
Well, thing is basically 6 gears. That means whenever you hit walls, you lose less speed because you have one more gear. So that's basically less speed between gears. For example, if you hit a wall using the 86, you will lose a lot of speed, and because you only have 5 gears, you have to gain a lot of speed before getting a boost again from the gears. But if you are using 6 gears, well, because you have one extra gear, you can get you can recover acceleration and speed faster, pretty much, and you have more room for mistakes when hitting guardrails and stuff.
And now I really don't have any room for mistakes because we got Takumi on Akina.
Oh yeah, one of the hardest race in the game. Good luck.
Yeah, we'll need it.
So by the way, about cars, since I'm almost done with cars anyway, If you guys check the leaderboards for well, maybe not on speedrun.com, but the leaderboards for the arcade games, you will notice that usually the best cars are the cars with 6 gears, mostly because it allows you to do mistakes more often and stuff. And also 6 gears cars also have a faster startup at the start of the race. So anyway, that's it for cars. Let's talk about Takumi actually. So Takumi is a very hard race actually. It's where you have to be really good, at least at Akina downhill. You have to really understand how Akina works if you want a chance to win. The way the AI works is basically Takumi will get some speed during this part right here. So 150 and above speed part, he will start getting some speed there, and then during the hairpins he will get a huge boost, and after the hairpins he will slow down a little and then get a huge boost until the end of the race, especially if you are behind. It's just like Bunta, except that Bunta gains speed through the entire race, and basically if you do one mistake against Bunta, it's GG, it's over.
And he will get boost right now already.
Yeah, that's it. Right before the hairpins, he's catching up. It's very difficult. Well, you got this, you can do this. Also, one thing about extra stage, well, yeah, extra stage and stage 4 in general, is that you cannot really block cars behind you, because the way the physics works, especially in multiplayer, is that if the opponent has more speed compared to you, his car will basically push your cars and literally go through your car pretty much. It's really weird, I'm not sure why they did that.
Oh
And
my god, bad situation.
Oh my god, it's so close. And one of the worst parts about this is that online, against each other, will be pushed. If the opponent gets in front of you like that, will be pushed into the guardrail and basically lose the race because of it. Anyway, that's really close, oh my god.
Oh, I don't know how,
Oh my
but
God.
he got behind.
Dude, that's insane. That was seriously clutch as fuck. Seriously, GG. That was insane. So yeah, that's it. The first round killer is done. We made it.
Okay, and now
So,
we got Irohazaha.
Nice.
Hiro Asaka, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. You almost had it. But yeah, it's pretty weird to pronounce. So yeah, Hiro Asaka. It's not that difficult, especially especially if you have a downhill car like the S2000. So you can basically relax a bit until Tsukasa, I think it's called. Pretty much until the good hand and good foot race. Anyway, this track is very weird in this game. It's programmed in a very, very interesting way. If not bad way even. So normally, hitting the guardrail is something you don't want to do. Normally hitting the guardrail gives you a penalty, you lose speed and stuff. But on Hiro Asaka, for some reason, hitting the inside guardrail during turns does not give you any penalty. In fact, if you want to go for a world record time, you have to use a cappuccino and literally wall rape. So basically slam into the inside of the turns and turn as soon as possible. It's a serious It seems to be a very dumb way to do Iwasaka, but sadly it's the fastest way. But to be honest, even if I want a good time on the leaderboards, personally I will never do that, because it's honestly dumb. So yeah, anyway, that's one of the things about Iwasaka. Otherwise, it's not too hard. It honestly was one of the easier and most fun tracks on stage 4 and extreme stage. Also, just like in the anime, you can jump during turns. Not all turns, but most of them. It's pretty cool.
And we got first shortcut turn here.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice. You got this.
Oh, almost stuck.
Oh yeah, also one thing about Iwasaka in this game, because you don't get a penalty while hitting the guardrail, that means most of us also turn a bit too early in general, and if you turn too early, you can also get stuck on the guardrail. It's super dumb, and if you do this against the SW20, usually it's GG, it's over, unless you are full spec. But yeah, usually that happens a lot for me on the first turn or the second turn.
Okay, we got Seiji.
Oh
Next
yeah,
one
by
is
the way, if you
Kirichi.
let the cutscene play here, you can actually see that guy getting slapped.
Yeah,
It's honestly
I
one
like
of the
this
best parts of the
cutscene.
game. I really like it as well, and it's too bad that you only see it once, because in this game there are different cutscenes for racing against drivers a second time. Our
And
tracks
now we got
always
that
going
slap.
downhill. Our tracks always going downhill. Not always. There are some uphill tracks. Oh, there it is, the cutscene. It's so good. But yeah, this game also has uphill tracks, and some tracks do not have uphill or downhill. They have clockwise or counterclockwise. For example, Akina Lake works like that. And then there are tracks where it's inbound and outbound. Basically, Tsukasa and Hapogara are like that. But the idea is the same.
About downhill and uphill. Usually, Irohazaha is downhill because road separates into two another lanes or roads in IRL. So usually you got downhill and uphill, but on Irohazaha you got downhill and return.
Oh yes, that's true. It's not called uphill, it's return. Also, you never do return in Legend of the Street. It's only in time attack. In fact, I'm not even sure if it's on all of the initial games. It's very weird to do anyway, and on this version of the game, because you can hit inside of the turns without getting a penalty, it looks seriously super weird. It's seriously funny. But yeah, it's a good thing you mentioned that, because I always forget about that actually. So yeah, anyway, we are racing against the Evo 3 guy.
Kyoichi.
It's not too hard. Kyoichi, yes. Kyoichi. So it's not too hard actually. It's pretty easy. To be honest, on Hirosaka, the only hard race is SW20 guy from Inside the Third Stage, the movie. He's the only hard guy on Hirosaka, and even then, if you have a good car, it's not that difficult. It's pretty funny because on the special stage on PS2, Hirosaka has a lot more opponents. It has Kaisuke and Takumi and a few other guys, if I remember correctly.
I think yes.
Because yeah, I know it has Kaisuke. I think if you beat every other racer, you get Takumi, and then you get Project G race on some other course, and then you get Punta or something like that. But to be honest, I haven't finished. I have not finished special stage because it's too difficult for me. The area in special stage is honestly way harder than extreme stage, by far.
But still not nothing to compare to Tomoyuki in extreme stage.
Oh yes, Apogara Pro Racer. That guy, he's definitely the worst. He's on the same level as Keisuke on special stage. You pretty much need to be really good at the track and have a full tuned car to win.
Okay, and now we got Kai in his MR2.
Yes, the MR2 or SW20, which is a pretty interesting car to drive. To be honest, it's a pretty good car online actually, but it's very unique as well. So yeah, anyway, it's the only opponent that can actually be dangerous on Hirosaka, at least on extreme stage. On special stage, it's actually not that hard to be honest. I feel like it's actually a bit harder on extreme stage. Anyway, the way his AI works is if he's in front of you, he will probably get a small speed boost in the beginning. And then he will get a speed boost during the jump turns of Hirosaka downhill. And usually, if you are behind, he will get even more boost for some reason. It's pretty weird. Those cars get reset if you lose and restart the game. Basically, the way this game works, at least on console, is that you can make a save file, a profile, if you want. You can make as many profiles as you want. Each profile can have 3 cars at the same time. Whenever you upgrade your car, unless you have changed anything in the settings, it will trigger auto-saving whenever you leave the garage. So you will keep upgrades, you will also keep track of which opponent you've beaten, how many times and stuff. Is there a stage initial game that is significantly different from the rest visually or more varied visually? I'm not sure what you mean. Let's see.
I'm too doesn't understand this question.
I think it's about the graphics, but I'm not really sure. The PS1 game definitely stands out graphically, that's for sure, at least for the cutscenes. Initially Gaiden stands out as well because it's a Game Boy game, but it's also pretty good. I definitely recommend trying it. It's also pretty easy to learn as well for runs. It's mostly a fun game. Mountain Vengeance is kinda like PS1, except that it has even worse physics. Otherwise, stage 1, 2, 3 and special stage has manga or 2D cutscenes, and while the graphics are very simple because it was the
Oh.
beginning of arcade games.
I got some problem with capture card, but it's now fine.
Dang, yeah, you're pretty far ahead actually. That's pretty cool. Definitely got this. So yeah, anyway, as for 3D cutscenes and stuff, stage 4 and above did that. Since it was kinda like a reboot, they were using different cabinets and stuff. Visuality. Yeah, as for the course, pretty much each version has how can I explain that in English? Basically, each version of the games has a few differences for each course. For some reason, if you compare stage 6 to stage 7, some course will have better trees, some leaves during the course and stuff. Yeah, no problem. It was a bit weird to understand, but to be honest, I'm glad I could answer somehow. And to be honest, if you guys have questions, just ask. We are here for this. And well, to be honest, we don't, or at least I don't play initially that much on Twitch anymore, so it's a good occasion, it's a good opportunity to ask questions about the games. And pretty much all the big guys from the Initial D Speedruns community are in chat, as far as I know, and in fact they are also in the marathon. Like Konazumi, me, Lord Mo, Big V, and well, I'm sorry, I always forget his name. So then Shadadi guy, Jugashi, I think that's how you pronounce it. There's also Eliasar, I think that's how he's called, but I don't think he's in chat. He's mostly into Initial D Gaiden and Initial D Mountain Vengeance. A pretty nice guy, to be honest. So yeah, if you guys have questions, just ask. Oh yeah, by the way, so this is I think it's called Tsukasa.
Not Tsukuba?
Oh, Tsukuba, yeah, Tsukuba, that's it. I always forget that course name. But yeah, anyway, Tsukuba. So it's a pretty interesting race because it has downhill and uphill, but at the same time, for each version, it's 50-50. One part is a uphill and one part is a downhill, no matter which version you take. So it's pretty interesting, especially for online race against other players. Also, speedrun-wise, it has two run killers, God Hand and God Foot. Depending on which car you have, one is harder than the other. So the police closed really long mountain pass for 2 days. That's actually a good question. I don't think they even mention it in the anime. I think it's more like, well, usually they race at night when no one else uses the road, and they set up barricades, I think.
Oh, this is really bad, but I can lose now. I think.
Oh, whoa, actually, oh yeah, you got past. Wow. Oh my god. Oh, that's the end of the course as well. You can get this.
God damn it. This is
Dang.
really stupid. I think I never lose to Daiki before.
Dang, that sucks. So yeah, Tsukuba is where shit gets real, really slowly. It's where you actually have to play decently if you want to stand a chance. and you have to play. You have to be really good if you want to beat God Hand or God Foot without upgrades. So anyway, yes.
This is one of the track which have penalty, just like on Isui.
Oh yes, this track has a penalty similar to Usui, which is basically invisible walls on some turns that will prevent you from going on the inside of some turns if you are going too fast. And also, if you get too close to the wall, you will be pushed away, so you will be hitting the guardrail in low speed. It's very dumb. Also, Tsukuba has the holes. If you've seen the anime, you probably know what I'm talking about. This course has a few holes, and basically you can drive over them. If you are driving correctly, you can drive just fine, and you will be clearing the turns a bit faster. But if you do it badly, the camera will kinda move because your car will be kinda like falling into the hole. It's pretty weird to explain. And it rarely happens. But that can also trigger a speed loss, so it's really weird.
Now I got way better two first checkpoints than before.
Oh yeah, definitely. It should be fine as long as you don't mess up the turns downhill. It's really where most of the comeback can happen with the AI, to be honest, especially with the Godfoot, sorry, especially with Godfoot. Or is it God? No, it's Godfoot, yeah. The 2000 guy. But yeah, anyway, that's where the AI will do a comeback most of the time, because it's very easy to mess up because of the invisible walls and of the penalty. And for some reason, these turns are very slippery. So yeah, it's really hard. Yeah, winning is easy as long as you don't fuck up. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, yeah. But to be honest, even if you don't fuck up, for new game runs, that's not enough sometimes, especially on Apogara and God Hand and God Foot. Like, even if you don't mess up, they can still catch up and stuff. You really have to upgrade your car. Unless you are getting world record like times, but well, we all are pretty far away from these times actually. Anyway, that went very well actually. That went way better than before.
Yeah. But he still got some boost after fourth checkpoint, I think. Because I don't really know how he passed me before.
Yeah, he can probably get... I would be surprised if he gets a boost near the end. To be honest, I don't really know too much, because that guy, I never had trouble with him. I always had some trouble with the next guy. The next guy, I don't think he really gets a boost, but he just drives very fast all the time.
And it's because it's wet condition.
Oh yeah, wet condition as well. That definitely doesn't help, especially with this game. And especially when you are not on Apogara. But you continue on even if you lost. It's not really... Let's see. I think you could continue even on arcade. You probably will just have to insert credit, you know. On PS3, you can just decide to continue, return to the main menu, or return to the Legend of the Street menu. But yeah, anyway, that's a pretty good point, because if you lose, you can probably upgrade your car, but at the same time, if you can manage to beat more race before going to the garage, you will have more money to spend, which means more upgrades. And normally we want to go into the garage only once. I think, yeah, only once. So having more money to spend is better. At least in my opinion.
Oh, I hate this turn. So much speed loss in here.
Yeah, these turns are very weird to do correctly. Also, as you guys could see, so earlier I've mentioned the holes, and sometimes the camera moves in a very weird way when you are inside the holes when driving. Also, oh my god, that seems super wrong. But anyway, for a brief moment, you guys could see how the camera moves when that happens, and it's also super weird. On top of making you lose speed. I don't think you get a penalty for it, just that you don't accelerate because you aren't really touching the ground or something like that. Which I guess kinda makes sense. Basically, if you continue, you basically restart the race against the same guy. But to be honest, if you go back to the Legend of the menu, you can pretty much choose to race anyone outside of the opponent that you have to unlock, which are the Project D race, Bunta, and the pro driver on Rapogara. Like, technically, you can start a run on the very last guy on Rapogara if you want. It's kinda the same for a special stage on PS2, to be honest. Which is why I wouldn't be surprised if some people actually started with a very hard course at first, 4 runs, just because some people are really good at some course. And like, for example, for me, if I were to run this or special stage, I would start with Hiroazaka, even if it's not the first course, just because I'm really good at Hiroazaka. So for me, that's 3 points from the start. That's 3 points because I can beat the AI very easily with a basic car. So yeah.
Pretty strange, I think, position, because I use Hirohazaha just for a chill between hard courses.
To be honest, that's what I will do, but at the same time, I would have to exit after some race, after finishing Akagi. Otherwise, it would trigger the second race against the Hiroazaka opponents, which you don't really need to do in any percent. Right, this game will be 10 years old already. Whoa, that's insane.
Yeah, and online still works.
Yeah.
This is really strange
That's
for me as PC guy.
That's honestly weird, yeah. It's pretty cool, to be honest.
Yeah. PS3 has One Gun Midnight game, and even their online is working, but no one plays it, really.
Oh yeah, actually I have Wang on Midnight on PS3, but I don't play it at all. Like I've tried it, so the wheel wasn't working properly for me for some
Really?
reason, and yeah, I don't know, like the car kept turning without me moving the wheel, you know. That's really weird. And at the same time, the game is the game. Sorry. The game Wang on Midnight on PS3 is incredibly difficult. I got past the very first mission, but it took me like an hour, and I still have no idea how I did it. But I definitely cannot get past the second mission, it's way too hard.
I think it's only hard to not blow on your engine, that's all.
Well, I don't know, I just like, for example, the first mission, you just have to drive in a straight line, and even when doing that and accelerating, I only won one of like 20 times. Like I have no idea how the game works. It's just weird. Like for me, it's just incredibly difficult. I would definitely say that Extreme Stage is really easy compared to Wang on Midnight on PS3. So yeah, anyway.
And we almost got our race with Godohendo.
Yeah. So that's another run killer over actually. God hand, depending on your car, especially if you are using the 86, it can be a pretty difficult race, especially because it gets a huge boost during the second half of the course. Which is kind of the same for Godfoot actually. Godfoot can be a really difficult race depending on your car. But normally it should be fine. It's mostly really difficult. God hand is mostly really difficult on Apogara.
Oh yeah, I think I never tried to run to do a full run on hard difficulty because of Godo Futo on Kabuhara, because I can't beat him without any upgrades.
Yeah, on Apogara he's really difficult. Like he goes really fast, and he also gets a speed boost during I think it's the second and third sections of the course. So it's really difficult, and it doesn't help that Apogara is a really bad course in this game. It's very slippery, and you are I think you are racing him on nighttime on dry weather, which are the worst conditions for Apogara in this game. Like in this game, Apogara is easier on wet conditions, pretty much, because of the physics.
For this part of race, Godo Foot tries to be behind you, and when we got I don't know how to say it, some straight line, he will always be behind you.
Yeah, depending on your line, he will stay behind you. Yeah, it's really weird.
Strange, but he overtaked me.
That's what you want to do. To be honest, that's what you want to do, especially on Apogara as well, because as you can see, now that he's in front, he's going a lot faster already.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same for Bunta. To be honest, if you aren't good at Akina, you want to keep Bunta behind you. But if he goes in front of you, he'll get some speed boost and it will be over. But for Godhand, it's not over yet. You can still beat him, but it's gonna be very difficult.
We got 70 meters behind and we overtaked him already. This is really strange for his AI.
It is, but to be honest, you have a downhill car, and this is the downhill section of the race, so you are at an advantage, pretty much.
Maybe.
Like the thing about Godfoot on Tsukuba is that he has an uphill car, so for the first two sections he's pretty fast. But then when he gets in front of you, in the beginning he gets a speed boost. Then he slows down in the third section, and he gets a small boost again in the last section, if I remember correctly. It's pretty interesting.
Okay, and we're done with Tsukuba.
Hi. Okay, so that's almost also course down. Also course down actually. So now we are gonna be doing Apogara, which is only on the console part, only on extreme stage. It's not on stage 4 in the arcades, and for a good reason, to be honest. It's a very slippery track, and because the physics are slippery, that means our car will be sliding all over the place non-stop.
Yeah,
And it doesn't help that this course you have to turn left and right non-stop as well.
and now
Also-
I'll show some strange driving, but it's fine for this game. I'm just keep ramming all the walls in this course.
Yeah, because just like in Hiroazaka, you can wall rape some turns, some inside walls of some turns, which honestly is a really good thing, because otherwise, if we are getting a penalty from every wall in this course, it will be impossible. Does the game have any kind of rubber banding area or something that will screw an error if we are driving too fast? Rubber banding, I think it kinda does, but it's not too bad. As for going too fast, well, it has, just like we were explaining, the penalty system. If you go too fast during some turns, you will hit invisible walls that will prevent you from going inside of turns, or you will get another type of penalty, which is your acceleration will be slower for a long time. Your speed, you will lose some speed during the turn, and if it's really bad, you will be pushed into the guardrail and you will lose control of your car. And it's very difficult to tell which speed is okay for some turns.
I will add to this answer that actually game have some rubber band, but only in when opponent is behind
Playing
you.
online? Oh.
Because for example some in-game files of this game, each character have some identifier which names is keep up distance. This distance is how I need to say it, I really don't know of which distance he cannot get how to say it.
Like basically, he can be behind you, but there's a limit to how much behind he can be, I guess.
Yeah. Not much that
actually makes sense.
this distance.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Okay, first Hapogahara race is done.
So yeah, anyway, as you guys can see, if you check the speed, sometimes Big V lose like 10 or 20 kilometers all of a sudden. That's one part of the penalty from hitting walls or going too fast during turns. So yeah, it's really weird.
I think there is some way to avoid it, but I think no one knows it in English part of the internet. I think.
To be honest, Extreme Stage, pretty much everyone hates the game because it's stage 4, and everyone hates stage 4 as well. Which is why there aren't too many information about Extreme Stage and stage 4 on the internet compared to the other version and compared to Special Stage. So there's not much we know about it.
And maybe because first to third arcade stages was really international, not so fourth and so on.
Oh yeah, maybe as well.
Because for example in Russia you really can't find anything younger than third cabinet, I think.
Then, well, as far as I know, outside of Japan, you can find version 3 and version 4, usually. But that's about it. Outside of Japan, that's all you can find. Maybe if you are lucky, you can find version 1 and version 2, but I'm not sure everyone replaced with 3 and 4. But that's about it. Like basically, stage 4 was so bad that it pretty much killed initial D outside of Japan. At least game-wise. In fact, even Extreme Stage could not save it, which is probably why we haven't gotten a new console port. Because Special Stage sold correctly, Extreme Stage sold very poorly, as far as I know, and that's pretty much about it.
But Extreme Stage still got platinum discs, a platinum version of disc.
Yeah, for some reason it got what it's called. It's called you know the bestseller and stuff.
Yeah.
And Special Stage did that too, but it's pretty weird. It's pretty weird that Extreme Stage got that, even if it's sold poorly. But to be honest, I'm pretty sure it's also because the arcade version wasn't that good for stage 4, so they pretty much want like, oh, they did not like stage 4, so we may as well stop the arcade and the games, so we can save more money. I'm pretty sure that's what they were thinking back then. But apparently, for Arcade Stage 0, which is a new arcade game based on the Legend movies, apparently for this games, there's a chance that we could get the arcades in America. Apparently, there was a listing not too long ago with the different countries that could get the arcades, and America was in it. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that people in America will get the arcades for sure, but it's still a chance, and that's better than nothing. And to be honest, the Legend games, the Arcade Stage 0 game, is actually pretty good physics-wise, from what I've been told. So that would be a nice opportunity. Oh yeah, and Wanga Midnight Maximum Tune 5 also got a North American release as well.
Does this 5DX Plus or just regular 5?
I'm pretty sure it's just 5, but I'm not too sure. Konazumi, do you know about this? Okay, it's just 5.
still doesn't last game.
Okay, so now for Godfoot on Hapogara, nighttime. This is one of the hardest tracks in the game. One of the hardest race, I mean, in the game. So Godfoot on Hapogara he's insane. He's super fast. He also gets a speed boost during most of the track. So yeah. And Hapogara by itself is a train wreck. It's a very difficult course. So yeah, very, very difficult race.
I think this game was, how I need to say it, the most... I bought used PS3 only because this game, I think.
Dang. That's insane. That's definitely... I kinda did that, but with the wheel actually. I only got the wheel just for this game at first. In fact, that's pretty much the game that got me into racing game for some time. Because I wasn't... I was watching the anime, but I did not finish it back then when I got the game. I think I was at second stage or something like that. But yeah, actually no, I actually seen a lot of people on internet saying they got a PS3 just for this game. Or that they were, or that like they only imported this game from Japan, just this game. So it's pretty amazing to be honest, considering it's actually not that good, at least for the physics.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, even if the physics are bad, and even if it's a port of Stage 4, it's not the worst game in the world. Like maybe it's the worst arcade stage game, but it's not the worst racing game ever. You can still have fun with it.
Yeah, it's really fun when you know how to play it.
Yeah, exactly. Even if the physics can be very annoying at times, it's still fun.
I don't know why.
And to be honest, if you get the Japanese version, you can still race people. You can still do race online against people. So that's extra thing. And then this race is super hard, dude.
I misclicked shifting and he got overtake me. This is really bad. He
Yeah,
can win this
doing
one.
mistakes.
Oh, really? Oh, damn it.
Doing mistakes at this point of the game is very unforgiving. And then that you almost got it back. That's insane.
One missed shift and I got wrecked. This is really bad.
Yeah, that's how difficult and unforgiving this game gets by end game. Every mistakes you do can mean you lose the race, pretty much.
Okay, go to oh, not go to Futo. I will wreck you. Nice, he's still behind.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good so far. But to be honest, the race is not over.
Yeah. Only half is done.
Yep. But you can do it. Never give up, Kappa. Also, epic music.
Okay, Godo Hendo technique works for me now. One hand on the wheel and another on shifter.
Whoa. I actually play like that almost all the time. Because I keep switching gears too often, so I just got used to playing with one hand on the wheel actually. It's such a cool strat, to be honest.
Okay, now he just got wrecked.
Dang, savage. The revenge, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh,
one hand on the wheel, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I got into replay.
So yeah, anyway. Oh hey, nice replay. So yeah, anyway, now we get to do the hardest race in the game. So imagine the hardest area in the game with the most broken course in the game. That sounds like a terrible idea, doesn't it? Yet, for some reason, it's a thing in this game.
Okay, hi Tomoyuki. Goodbye Tomoyuki.
Okay, so no BIGV is probably gonna upgrade this car.
Yeah.
Because honestly, you're gonna need every upgrade you can get for this. So way the AI works is this guy will be going super fast. He will be taking lines and turns in a very weird way that normally you cannot take unless you are very good at Hapogara. Like he never hits walls or anything, it's really impossible. And basically, the only time where the AI screws up is if you are behind the AI, like very close to the car. On the very last turn, the AI will brake for a few seconds, and that's basically your only chance to win. It's a seriously super difficult race. Definitely the hardest race in the game, way harder than Bunta.
Okay, we got all parts. And we can
Nice.
compete Tomoyuki.
You almost got max speed, that's gonna be insane. But yeah, anyway, racing against this guy, against the pro driver, you will mostly be behind for most parts.
Yeah. Usually I get behind him to the last turn of race.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes for me as well. You pretty much have to somehow keep up the pace, and then you have to catch up a little in the last section. and then that will trigger the AI braking for a few seconds during the last turn, and that's where you have to get some speed somehow and pass him, but it's really super close. I remember once I won by like a few pixels. It was really insane. Also it's dry weather, so that means driving on Apogara is still difficult, because wet weather on Apogara makes things way easier because you have to brake more often, but at the same time it's how the physics and the course works. For some reason it makes the course easier. It's really weird to explain. It's the kind of thing that you have to play, to feel, to understand. Anyway, you're doing pretty good so far.
Yeah. Funny part that I am done some upgrades and now I can hit walls harder than before. And
Yeah, you
not-
can hit walls more often because you have more speed and you lose less speed, I think.
And he already got boost, so he keep ramming me.
Yeah, that's how it is with this guy. If he's not in front of you from the beginning, he will eventually get past you as soon as you make a mistake, even a small one.
But this
The
one
AI
is
is
pretty
just
good.
completely broken. Sorry, what did you say?
This is so good for now. About distance between me and him.
Yeah, it's not too bad, like you aren't too far away.
It's really good,
But
I think.
oh, whoa. Okay, you're taking the turns in a really good way. That's insane. That's seriously insane. Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh, dude. Seriously, how did you
I
do
think
that?
this is S2000 power.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh, I get penalty here. Oh, this is bad.
Okay, you can still do this. You can still do
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Oh, more penalty. But he behind.
Yeah, it seems like for the last section, if you are in front, the AI slows down a bit, but it's still very dangerous.
Yeah.
But that's one thing that's good to know actually.
Almost 100 meters. What the hell?
Yeah, I guess that's just how it is. If you manage to be in front after the big turns, the airplanes, you will trigger the...
Whoa, this was easiest
You will trigger...
to Mayuki I ever done.
Oh, that was seriously insane, dude. GG. Seriously GG. That's insane. So yeah, I guess if you are in front of him after the hairpins, the AI will slow down. Because normally it's not supposed to be like that. Normally you're supposed to be behind and the AI will brake on the very last turn and that's your last chance to win.
It's usually your only chance to overtake him.
Yeah, exactly. It's your only chance if you aren't in front of him by that point.
Okay, and now we got Project D on Tsukuba.
Yep. So beating all the opponents before unlocks Pro Driver, and beating the Pro Driver unlocks Keisuke on Tsukuba, which will then unlock Takumi, and then after all that will be unlocking Boontown Akina downhill. So Project D race, they aren't that difficult to be honest. In fact, Keisuke is probably the most difficult one because if you do too many mistakes in the first two sections, in the first half of the course, it's very unforgiving because he will not he will slow down a little on the second half, but not enough for you to get past him if you are messing up too much. As for Takumi, it's kinda the opposite. Takumi is pretty easy, unless if you mess up during the third or fourth section, then he will get a boost as soon as he gets past you and it will be over. But otherwise, if you are in front of him, it's pretty easy.
He keep pushing me. That's strange.
Yeah, that's typical Keisuke. If you are ahead, to be honest. If you are in front of him, he usually do that. So yeah, anyway, the second half of the race is gonna start in a few seconds. Keisuke will probably slow down a bit.
Yeah, already.
Yeah, it's already getting easier. So yeah, Project D race in this game aren't that hard, to be honest. Like we've said before, the hardest race was the Pro Driver on Hapogara, and it's probably, except for Bunta, it's probably the only dangerous race. If you have a full tune car, I mean.
Yeah, he was releasing.
Yeah, I guess is pretty easy. Honestly, the hardest part is the beginning. And for Takumi it's kinda the opposite, because in the last section he gets some speed boost, and he will try to pass you on the very last turn. So yeah.
Some more of that nasty replay, but it's okay.
Hey, replays look very cool, to be honest. With the camera angle and stuff. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
But it's cool in any initial D game, I think. But I don't know, does PlayStation 1 have replay or not?
I don't know if it has, but it's definitely a cool thing. Also, it's pretty funny because you can tell that it was a reboot. Again, that stage for was a reboot because it has less camera angle than the other games. Like if you compare, for example, Special Stage. Special Stage has a lot more variety with camera angles during replays compared to Extreme Stage. So anyway, time for Takumi again. So Takumi, well, the first section is pretty difficult, or well, the very few turns at the start, because he will try getting in front of you. If he doesn't, it will be fine, as long as you don't mess up too much. He will get a speed boost at the very last turn, and some more speed in the last section. Also, if he's close to you, he will try to do the blind attack, which is honestly pretty cool. And most of the time he will actually succeed as well. The AI seems pretty good at blind attack, to be honest.
Not this button. Oh yeah, this button. And now we get lights off.
Oh, there we go. Takumi is trying blind. Oh no, never mind. It's yours. Actually, I should probably heal the stream because it seems like I have a really big delay. There we go. Oh yeah,
Oh.
I've seen the PS1 initial D as well.
He turned his lights off. And
Oh, there we
tried-
go. Takumi is trying blind attack. This is it. And it's right behind you as well. Holy shit.
it's
So yeah,
fine.
this is the boost. This is the boost AI gets. He gets a huge speed boost during the blind attack. And that's it. Blind attack is over. Unless you mess up, this is GG. You won. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting race, to be honest.
Now it will be last race with Bunda.
When is time coming up? Time should be when he wins the race against Bunta. As soon as he cross the finish line. If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So hey, it's Smoked Driver.
Okay. This is really hard one. I like how Bunta is usually drivers say something when you do something or overtake them, and Bunta just
Yeah, Bunta doesn't speak too much. I think you can make him go in panic mode, but you have to be really far ahead of him. Even doing blind attack won't affect him as far as I know. Anyway, this race is pretty difficult. It's mostly can you be fast enough? That's pretty much what this race is.
yeah.
You have to be super fast during the entire race, and basically you want to avoid doing mistakes, because every time you will be doing mistakes, Bunta will catch up. And in the very last section, if he's in front of you, he'll get a huge speed boost, and you won't be able to win.
Yeah.
Also, hello Sunhard, what's up? So yeah, anyway, at this rate, time will be coming up shortly.
And now he will get boost.
Yep.
Oh no? What?
Wait, what?
He didn't get boost, strange. Oh, now. He got it.
Ah yeah, right before the hairpin. That makes more sense actually. Should just go thrill, actually. But is he using the cigarette strat? That's a real question.
Okay, this is win.
Dang, first try, that's pretty impressive to be honest. And to be honest, your Akina time is gonna be pretty good as well.
Not so good.
To be honest, it's not that bad. It's pretty good considering it's a game. At least in my opinion.
I got better time in stalking Reza even. So it's, I think, time must hit.
Alright, time. That's it. Also, to be honest, the Impreza is kinda broken in this game. It's a very beginner-friendly car and the acceleration is totally broken. So, congrats actually.
Thanks for GG's.
That was pretty impressive to be honest.
And now we got some question, I forgot about it. I think yes.
Oh yeah, basically this question. Oh, I cannot speak English. This question is basically, do you want to start a new Legend of the Street mode or keep going? If you choose no, you will be able to keep racing, and you will be able to keep racing against all the opponents and stuff. Second time and so on, and you will have to beat Bunta again to get this choice. And if you choose yes, basically Legend of Street will be reset. You will keep all your points, upgrades and stuff, but you will have to unlock the pro drivers, Project D, and so on again. It's a nice way to unlock more avatar items, because you unlock avatar items from beating opponents 1 or 2 times, and also from getting good times in time attack mode. Yeah, it definitely will be. It's a very interesting game, I guess. Oh, for sure, for sure. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for actually submitting Extreme Stage in Marathon, and thanks for asking me for commenting the run actually.